We're talking about a very spicy topic. We're talking about body changes.
For women. Do you feel less attractive to me when these things happens?
Like in general, just like as a human, less attracted. Maybe we should have started this one with a couple deep breaths. Hey everybody, we've got a special guest today. This is Wags. Wags, you excited for today's episode? All right. Yes, I am too, and it's a very juicy one because we are talking about your wife's body, libido, sexy time, all the good stuff. We go into deep conversation about what happens when your wife is going through her body changes and you too are going through changes. How to support her, what doesn't support her, how to handle the challenging conversations, and what we've done to be able to ignite our relationship during this time. And I think that there may be some really awesome value for you. So we're so excited you're here and we're pumped to dive in. Let's get after it. Hey, I'm Nick.
And I'm Bia.
We don't have all the answers, but we're definitely in it. And if you're ready to lead your family by being more of yourself, not less, then you're in the right place.
We are so grateful to be in this with you.
This is Dad Easy. Let's get into it. We're back again and clearly really excited to be with you today. Have you noticed that every single time you guys get to watch it, I just get to experience it, and she'll be like, no, that's not true. We're sitting at dinner with a couple. I'll tell them I'm pulling teeth trying to get Bia to do this. And she's like, no, I love it. That's not true. I love it. But you guys get to watch what happens.
What are you talking about?
I said I will be sitting at dinner explaining to a couple how miserable you are doing our podcast.
Because I've been waiting for 2 hours for you to set up.
You've been playing with the dog.
I've been sleeping with the dog.
We have a special guest today that's over there. Wags. Wags is just passed out. We were going to have Wags sit on Bia's lap, but Wags is passed out. All right. We're talking about a very spicy topic. Maybe we should have started this one with a couple deep breaths, but we're not gonna. We're just going to bring in the heat.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about body changes.
For women. Well, yes.
We're talking about body changes during the era of pregnancy. And obviously, what we first think about is the mother's body. But did you know, I watched Andrew Huberman once, so I know this, that there's a study, I think it was Huberman, that men's bodies, what do? We take on more weight to prepare for, like, the body actually knows that we're coming up to sleepless nights with the baby. So it actually conserves more energy and weight, the dad's body, without doing anything different. Like the theory of dad bod is somewhat true in that you technically gain weight as you get closer to pregnancy time or till birthing time. Mm-hmm. Because your body knows you're going to need more energy stored up because you're going to have less sleep and less recovery.
Yeah.
So, like, you have a reason to be chunky, dads. That's the end of the episode. Thanks for being here today.
That's your excuse.
That's your excuse. No, but we're talking about the male and female aspect of it, which also integrates the whole, like, libido aspect, which is a big one during pregnancy.
Aye.
Ow, ow, ow. We're going to talk about that today. I can't even get her to say the word. She has to spell it out. Sex. She's just like, yeah. This is going to be an interesting conversation. We didn't really prep for this one. We're just going for it because Bia's scared to talk about
I'm not
sexy
scared.
time in public.
I'm not scared. I just think most times it's unnecessary. But when it's necessary like this, I don't have a problem.
Today's podcast is necessary. So I love that. So the first topic of conversation is the woman's body and navigating conversation about that.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about dudes, but like there's a lot going on. There's a whole thing specifically in the US, but I would say this is probably a lot of places in the world commonly that like gaining weight is a bad thing, right? It's just kind of like this story of gaining weight is a bad thing. Of course you're going to gain weight in pregnancy, but the tendency of a female mind is that gaining weight is bad. Like I'm fat. Gaining weight is fat.
Exactly. Yes. Especially coming from a culture like Brazil and how like everything's about how your body looks, how your booty looks,
I
and
love that about Brazil.
yeah, so that says a lot about like bikinis, you know, how much you show and like how nice your body looks, etc.
And specifically with somebody who has kept a very healthy, beautiful body.
Delicious.
Delicious is there's a lot of words I want to say for private. But yes, you were an athlete. You were on the national team of handball for Brazil.
Stop it. I hate when you do that.
Did you guys know that? She played professional handball.
No, I played college.
And Bia was an athlete. She ran a lot. She trained. She was a Nike influencer, obviously.
That is true for a little bit.
And she was like a fit person pre-pregnancy. And now we're learning that fit has just a different look and feel to it. But would you consider yourself fit during this time?
For sure. Wouldn't you?
Okay, so this is how we start the conversation. Watch how incredibly, like how that turned real quick. If you were observing that visually, or if you just heard it, she's kind of kidding, but she's also not. She does this a lot. Like, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you say I was fit? That's what we're talking about today. The intensity of the experience of a woman's body and what she feels about her body and how she thinks about her body during the process of pregnancy, and how we as the partner support that or don't support that. I guess, what would you give me? We'll say let's keep it simple, 1 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
5 being, I couldn't have asked for better so far. We've got 3 months left of pregnancy. And 1 being, you are horrible at it. How am I doing in terms of supporting you with your body experience?
4. It's like, why not a 5?
I guess my question is, why not a 5?
No, I feel like you've been doing an amazing job, like most times in our relationship. I feel like that there are moments where I'm like, you know what? I feel like I just need to rest. And I think it was more in the beginning of pregnancy. Now less. But
I didn't support your rest?
In the beginning of the pregnancy, I feel like many times I was just exhausted, tired, nausea, and I would be like, you know, feeling like I'm lazy and type of thing. And you would like say things like, why don't you go for a walk? You're going to feel better. And I'm like, I don't fucking want to go for a walk. I want to lay in the couch and watch TV because that's what I feel like. And you with the most supportive, loving, caring energy, you would say like, I feel like you're going to feel great. Oh my God, it's a beautiful day outside, you know, like type of thing, which I know what you mean is like, I want you to go for a walk because I want you to feel better.
But don't you think you probably should have gone for a walk?
You see, that's the 4, not 5.
But I'm asking a question.
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't decide that. I decided to stay.
So how does the partner then support that? This was something I'd like to explore later in the podcast, and here we are. So let's do it. How does the husband support you in those moments when there's this feeling of like, okay, what I know to be true is that when you move your body and when you get going, you feel better about yourself. And like,
well, support looks like different in each phase and each day. So I think the first thing is ask what support looks like to you right now. And sometimes support's going to look like, leave me alone, let me watch TV and lay in the couch because that's what I feel like. And I want to vomit and I'm nauseous. It depends on the phase of pregnancy that each woman go through. And sometimes it's like, I would love if you would bring me on a walk with you. And I would love to go for a walk together. And
the other thing that's important to point out is that at that point, this is also your first time being pregnant in general.
Yeah.
But this was like the first few weeks of being pregnant. And there was so much.
First 16 weeks of being pregnant.
Right. And like, that was confusing for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So maybe it's different if you've done pregnancy before and you're like, I know what I need to do is get outside and I need to get moving and I feel better. Or I'm certain that what I need to do is I need to lay on the couch and I need to rest. You were still not sure either. And I think that's important to acknowledge that I want to show up the best I can, but sometimes you don't even know how to direct me because you don't even know.
Well, I know for sure better than you would.
I would imagine that's the case, yes.
That is the case.
But you still don't make decisions that are best for you sometimes.
Yes. And we learn through that. And I think I did a good job like testing sometimes. And sometimes I would go for a walk, even if you wouldn't suggest. And that would make me feel good. And sometimes I would just prefer to stay on the couch and that would help me. So I think it's a day-to-day thing. I think it's first having the clarity of like telling you what support looks like. So you asking me like what support looks like to you right now. How can I be in better support of you? How can I, make this process easier for you? And then me checking in with myself and being honest with you. It's just leaving me alone, like, or it's cuddling with me in the couch today, or it's going for a walk with me, or whatever it is.
So what I'm hearing is that my job is to get really open with my communication and to ask you, what is it that you need to be best supported in this moment? Even if what I think you're going to do is you're like, I'm going to ask you what best support is. And then there's a solid chance that the best support looks like doing something that's not best for you. I should just kind of allow that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That is important, I think, for the male brain, because automatically, if I'm being honest, my brain goes to fixing the problem. And I think that's very different for females.
Yeah.
Like, you're not there to fix anything. You're like, I'm pregnant. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and
yeah, there is nothing to fix.
Right. And my brain is like, she's unhappy. She's down in the dumps. I've watched this woman for every day for the past 6 years. Like, movement helps her every time, like 100 out of 100 times. So that's what I'm encouraging. But acknowledging that there's nothing to be fixed and my brain is trying to fix something that doesn't need to be fixed is important.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a really strong reminder for the male brain, because we're just like, you're sad, move body. That equals good, healthy habits. Like, we're just in like operation mode. Even for those of us that are really connected and tapped in, like I may ask, what do you need? But even from the what do you need, I still have this knowingness of like, this would fix the problem. So I think it's really important, A, to communicate is what I'm hearing. And then B, not trying to fix things, like allowing that to happen. Now, what about if it's like a little bit more of a serious thing? So like, you haven't exercised in weeks. You're not doing anything. Like, you're not taking care of yourself at all. And that's a real thing. Like, you didn't have this, thank God. But women go into like intense emotional states where they don't want to do anything. And sometimes in life, with or without pregnancy, what we need is that person to just motivate us and push us. So how do I play a role of motivator or not? Is that ever a role I'm supposed to play?
I think it depends. I think it's like depends on the phase. I had phases in life where you were trying to motivate me, and sometimes it would make me just more irritated and frustrated.
I remember those well.
And sometimes would be exactly what I needed to get me moving and energized. And I think it depends moment to moment. It depends what I'm going through. It depends what emotions I'm navigating. I think you watched my journey, this like fitness journey that I've been on since we met, which was a lot of ups and downs, especially with COVID, changing how I like to exercise, what type of exercise I like to do. I went through many different phases, and I think in each phase was a different process. I think most times I enjoyed you motivating me by, going with me and being excited and, finding ways to make it fun. So I think these were ways to really motivate me. And there are times that I'm like, you know what? I need to be on my shit for a few days. I need to get into a point where
in
I'm
my
like,
shit. You need to be in your shit.
in my shit. Yeah.
On your shit is like, I'm on it. I got this.
Okay.
It's actually the quite literal opposite.
Okay, great. Prepositions. I hate it. Sometimes I need to be in my shit for many days until I get into a point where I feel like I can move. And then you motivating me, it's actually just delaying my process because it's like, maybe I go. And then, you know, so it's hard to say because it depends on the phase that I'm in. And I think it's a kind of like a trial and error for me, at least. Is like trying to see what stick, what not, what's good, what's not, what works, what doesn't.
I also think there's something really important about having the conversation before the thing is there. I would say this about most things in a relationship. We are often, dudes fix problems when problems arrive. The pipe breaks, fix the pipe. My bike chain broke, buy new bike chain, right? We're very like primitive and like, this is broken, go fix it. So she's sad, go fix it. She's not motivated, go fix it. She's judging herself, go fix it. Actually, when she's not in judgment of herself, when she's feeling herself, I encourage dudes, see what you say to this. You're having a day, you are feeling yourself, you're like, damn, I look delicious, you're looking all cute. That might be a great day to say, I want to ask you something. When you're having the opposite of this day, like when you're not feeling yourself, when you're out of it, how do I best support you during that time? Or when you're on your exercise grind, if we're using the exercise, you're like killing it, you're slaying, you just left the gym, we're high-fiving, you're like, I'm a fucking beast, I'm killing it. And I'm like, baby, this is awesome. Can you talk to me about on the days when this doesn't happen, how can I best support you?
Actually, I would say, I don't think that that's the best time to have a conversation. I think it would be more important to have a conversation about this when you were like in a neutral space than in like high state. I would say like it's more like when we are having dinner, when we are having a connection.
So when there's nothing to do, it's just like it's not attached at all. So it's not you had a great exercise day. It's not you had a bad exercise day. Today was just a day. And now we're just having a conversation. I'm like, hey, I want to ask you something random.
Yeah. I feel like it's much better than when I'm like, and also like I want to point it out because I understand that you're saying like man has this like fixed, you know, like I want to fix. Sometimes I hate this because it's like, I'm not broken. You don't have anything to fix on me. And sometimes it feels like, yes, you're trying to fix something because I'm broken or I'm doing something wrong. And this actually pisses me off and like makes me irritated. And I'm like, I think that's a few moments where I get irritated because you're like trying to say like, oh, how beautiful the day is outside. And I'm like, I can sense that you are trying to make me go for a walk. And I think this energy of like, I'm trying to fix what's going on right here, which is like you laying in the couch. It's like.
Yeah, but it's not you laying on the couch. Let's be realistic. Those moments are like you being like, oh, I'm so whatever. And you're like not in a good state. It's when you're not in a good state. I'm not like sitting here like drill sergeant. You should get outside and walk.
I know. I'm just pointing out the fix thing. To be careful with this like energy of like I need to fix you. I need to fix. Yeah,
totally.
Because it's a very irritating and we can feel when you come from this place.
Well, yeah, if I'm saying that, it's because there's an interpretation that I have that something's like where you're at isn't right. And what's interesting is even if where you're at isn't right and you're in a shit space about it, in your head about it, now it's not right and you're being called out for it. So you go gloves in like attack mode. It pisses you off even more. The question still stands. Do I just leave you? And I don't know, in my experience, I've had multiple experiences with you where I'm like, hey, talk to me about what's going on. What are you feeling?
I think it's trial and error. Sometimes you do say something. Sometimes you just leave me. And in neutral space, you can ask me like, what would be more supportive today, like earlier today when you're having this? Like, would be me just leaving you alone or like...
That's a good one. So that's one of the things I often forget is that this too shall pass. Mm-hmm. And I can ask about that later. And like, okay, we chalk up this one as a loss. Like she was just feeling like shit and you didn't come in and save the day. But maybe that one wasn't for you to save the day. Number one, you're not her savior. You're her partner. And sometimes we as human beings need to go through our own thing, right? And I've definitely learned that about you. Some of the stuff I can step in and I can support you. Other things, this is a hero journey for you, and you are on it and you're doing your thing, and I have nothing to do with that, and I need to just let you have it.
Yeah.
So I think that's important.
Well, I have a question for you. Do you feel less attractive to me when this things happens?
Like in general, just like as a human, less attracted? I think sometimes when it's like...
Not just in general, like as your partner.
Like sexually attracted.
As well. Yeah. No, more attracted.
To you as a person.
Yeah, as your partner, not as just like a friend.
Right. So I think you're in a low vibration state in those moments. And there have been times when my interpretation of you at that moment is you're being lazy, or you're not taking care of yourself, or you're not showing yourself love, or you're not stepping up and doing what has to be done. And in those moments, that I have found can feel less attractive to me. Mm-hmm. But that's not every time that happens. Like sometimes you're in a tough moment and I feel incredible compassion and love, and I see you for who I know you are, and like, or it doesn't, I'm just like, whatever, just having a moment, and I like move on. Mm-hmm. I think it's when things get repetitive, like when the stuff happens over and over again, where I'm kind of like, homegirl, like this isn't cute. Put your shit together. Yeah, like, because part of how part of how I see you is this woman who like demands excellence of herself and loves herself. Mm-hmm. Like you exude love, you exude this light. So not to say I'm not saying by any means I won't love you if you're not exuding light. Mm-hmm. I think that's part of partnership, for better or worse. And over and over, it's like anybody who's just like saying the same dumb shit that isn't working for them, the same negative thing that isn't working for them over and over. It's frustrating. Mm-hmm. Like, dude, I see something in you and you're not living into that.
Did we ever have a phase like this? Do you remember me feeling like this towards me?
I have definitely felt that way towards you, but in like they're quick. Like,
do you remember when?
No, but like if we're talking about recently, like even the TV stuff, like that's the stuff that frustrates me, is when I'm like, okay, 6 episodes of Love is Blind? 7 now? You watched a full season and a half today? That's when I'm like, that's not an exaggeration.
This is an exaggeration. A season and a half, you're crazy. 6 episodes in a day? Maybe, yes.
Absolutely 6 episodes.
Yeah, I have been there, but not a season and a half.
You've definitely watched seasons of full shows in one day, multiple times.
No.
These things happen, for sure. And when those days come, and I know you're like, I didn't do anything today or whatever. And now I'm dealing with the repercussions of you feeling like shit because you just drained your brain power for 13 hours. That's when I'm like, I have to deal with the repercussions as your partner. I got to spend time with your lazy ass right now. And I'm like, dude, that's not cute.
That's very judgmental.
Totally. I accept that that's judgmental. And that's where the struggle comes in, because it's like, listen, again, repetitive. If this was happening all the time, that's when it starts to get to me. If it happens one day, we all need a day to turn off, man. We all need a day to like literally drain our brain of any intelligence or anything good. Thank you, Love is Blind. For like 12 hours. We need those days every once in a while. A veg day, my mom would call it. Like, you need a veg day. If you do multiple veg days over and over, that's when I'm kind of like, bro, what are we doing here? Like, life is live. There's so much incredible things going on in our life. And like, there's so much opportunity. We live in this beautiful city. There's so many people to meet. There's so many things to do. Like this is what you want to do. So I think I put my own preferences. Like, you should want to do this. I think I put that in the way.
You definitely do.
Yeah, but I think there's a balance here. Like, would it be super hot for you if like 4 days in a row I watched like 13 seasons of Love is Blind?
4 days in a row.
That's what I'm saying. Consistency. If it happened once, you'd be like, wow, It's a lot of TV. You okay? Especially if you're moving and grooving and grinding and you're on one. By the way, that's important too. What if you are in your masculine, like one of those days where you're getting things done and moving and grooving and hustling. And I'm just like, can you pass me my water? Are you making lunch? And you're like, and I'm just laying on the couch being a lazy bum. Do you notice the incredible contrast in those things?
Yeah, but I think it's what you said. If it was always like this, that wouldn't be a marriage. I wouldn't be in this marriage. It wouldn't be a relationship that I would be
So
in.
Think about that.
But if
this is a practice that if you did this regularly, I wouldn't be in a relationship with you. So if there was a little bit of consistency with it, wouldn't it bother you?
If it was a repetitive thing, yes. But if it was like sometimes, like you had days where you just need that, that's fine.
Yeah, I think that yours is more than sometimes.
You're so annoying.
It's
he wants a divorce.
More times than sometimes.
Well, how about related to my body? Because since you know me...
God, we're so synced. I was just about to say, like, talk about the body piece. I love you.
Since you know me, I had a lot of different phases. I gained weight. I lost weight. Like, that's being part of my journey a lot. Like, sometimes I'm a little, especially after moving to the US, I got much chunkier. And then go back to Brazil. I lose weight. I feel better. And then spend some time in the US. I'm joking, but not. Anyway, so like I had phases where I felt my body changing a lot and gaining weight and losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight. But now being pregnant, it's a whole new level of gaining weight and my body changed, my hips opening up, my belly growing. As you said, not even me, but as you said, my face getting rounded.
Oh, 100%. Your face is rounder. And like, I think a lot of dudes are like, oh, did you just say that to her? Like, listen, we've built a relationship of trust and honesty enough where like, I'm not going to lie. Like, your face got rounder. I'm not like, oh, babe. Ooh. It's just it's something that happens when you gain weight on your face. I'm not like, hey babe, just a heads up. I don't even know how that came up the other day. We were talking about that the other day. With Jill.
Yeah.
We were talking with my sister over FaceTime and somehow we were talking about a picture or something or whatever. And Jill was like, yeah, of course. Like, that's normal. And I'm like, yeah, duh. And you're like, what? I gained weight on my face. I'm like,
no,
yeah.
I knew that is just something that happened to me, but I haven't noticed how much weight I gained.
Right. And then the next day she was like, oh my God, like looking at pictures and making comments about her face. So it's important to acknowledge that like people are sensitive. I think understanding you and how sensitive you are or aren't is really important. I think that you trust me to be truthful with you. And I am about my experience. But I'm also really conscious about how I report that.
Do you feel less attractive to me?
No.
Because my body has changed so much?
No. I'm actually finding myself to be more attracted at times.
No, I don't believe that.
Let me give you what happens to a man, okay? There's physical attraction, like ass and titties, you're so hot, deliciousness, oh my God. There's that. And then there's emotional attraction, which in my experience is even way more powerful than a physical attraction thing, because there are many experiences in my life where I've been attracted to somebody who isn't my physical type, but because I'm so emotionally connected to them, I like am totally swooned. Whereas I've also had the situation where I'm like physically attracted to a person and it's hard to be attracted to them when they start talking.
Yeah.
That sounds really nasty. But like, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, there's some people that are just gross people internally, and that's mean. That's a mean way to say that. Mean. They're not whatever. Not my vibe.
Yeah, they're just not your people.
Great. So that person's not my vibe, and I lose the attraction to them, even if they're hot. Mm-hmm. But the emotional attraction.
Well, this is in your past. Doesn't happen anymore.
Exactly. The emotional attraction piece is so intense. You're carrying a human that I made. Mm-hmm. You're doing what I could never do. Like when I think about when I think of myself, I like to pride myself on the idea that if I can think it, I can imagine it, then it shall be. Except pregnancy. Like, I can't impregnate myself. I can't hold a baby. It ain't happening. Not in this lifetime. That's one thing I cannot do. And I haven't even gotten to see the whole era of like the way you hold our baby, the way you breastfeed our baby, the way you wake up at night for our baby, the way you, all this stuff. Just in the carrying of our child and the courageous act to decide, okay, I'm open to receiving this. There's so much insane gratitude. Just like, I don't even know how to explain this in words. It's a feeling. The feeling that somebody that you love loves you enough to go through what your body and mind and your whole life is about to go through, is going through right now, that I can't take on. I literally can't fucking take it on. And the more I watch pregnancy videos and study pregnancy and natural births, which is what we're choosing to do, I can't push something out of my vajayjay. I can't explode the inside of my body to fucking birth a child. I can't do it. And you held that for me. You held that down. You're doing that. The level of emotional attraction that exists because you're willing to do that for me, whatever you think, whenever you thought that you were emotionally attracted to me because of something I said or a cute thing I did, like think about when I did the proposal and I got our whole family flying down to Brazil, surprise Airbnb, like I hid everything from Bia, 40 people in a room, surprise, propose, nailed it. Tons of work, tons of secrecy, tons of hours, money, the whole nine. It was like an impossible feat done. Shout out to my family for making all that happen.
Yeah.
Whatever you were feeling in that moment of gratitude towards me and love and appreciation, multiply that times 1,000,000. And that's what this feels like. So I know it's hard for a woman to understand. You can't be attracted to me like this, but...
Well, so you're talking about emotional attraction.
And emotional attraction makes someone more sexually, someone more sexually attracted to somebody. So like, is big bellies my thing? Maybe not. But when my baby's in it, there's something kind of sexy about that for me. It's a little weird, kinky, but that's the truth. Like, I'm kind of turned on by it. I'm turned on by the extra little, like, I'll keep it PG. We were in bed the other day, and there's just like a part of Bia's hips that I was grabbing. I was like, this shit looks like a hamburger. And it's true. It was looking really scrumptious. And I was like, girl, come on. Like, and then there are also moments, let's be real. There are also moments where you're walking around like, oh, my back, and you're like farting, and you're like, oh my God, I just peed myself again. Like those things, not always the hottest, you know, like not the sexiest thing when you're just, you know, like having those moments.
Well, you farting on my face is also not attractive.
Honey,
and you're not pregnant.
Husband. I'm your husband. It's different. I'm your husband. So yes, there are unattractive moments, and there's some stuff that happens with a woman's body that is fucking weird and crazy and scary, and you're like, whoa, I've never heard that that's even a thing. By the way, dudes, the amount of things you can learn, like talk about a crash course in anatomy, in physiology.
Crazy.
I am mind blown.
Wait, well, let me say that I appreciate you saying that, and I think was very beautiful, and I feel very lucky that I have someone like you as my partner who appreciate that and see that as a very important piece of the relationship. And I also know that I have friends, very close friends, who have very different experience with partners. And not everybody has this emotional attraction, and the physical actually get in the way and like actually create this gap. So if you could share, and I'm curious, what are your thoughts on that? Like, what would help someone who is having a hard time?
Well, one of the first things to note, I'll just talk about us, is there are also times when I'm not in physical attraction mode. But that isn't due to pregnancy or not pregnancy, where you're just like, come on, let's rock and roll. And I'm like, I don't feel like it.
Let me explain. I think women go through different levels of libido during pregnancy, right? Because of the sex hormones and all of that. So I am very blessed, and I think that's a good thing.
As am I.
That my libido is like to the roof. As I have friends who their libido is like 0. So they do not want to be touched. They do not want to have sex, and they want to be like no near their partner.
But one of the tricky things that happens, which is interesting, is her libido so high, and then the second that I say I don't want to have sex, am I allowed to say the word? Are you okay with that? The second I say I don't want to, it is very often that Bia will go, is it because you're not attracted to me? Or like, why? And or that, be honest, does that thought cross your mind when I'm saying I don't feel like it right now?
I think the beginning, now, no. It was a lot of no's, so I'm kind of used to the no's. In the beginning, yes.
How many times a day do I need to say no? In the beginning.
So in the beginning, yes.
Yeah. There's like this like,
but also because I was, for the first time, I was navigating this change in my body. So it's not only like my physical change, my hormone change, like everything that is going on in my body. And I'm like, what the heck's going on? And then
now my husband doesn't want me.
Yeah. But the beginning of it, now I feel like I understand. And we had a few conversations about that. So I know that has nothing to do with the size of my belly or how my body looks. Mm-hmm. But I still have moments where I'm like, my libido is super high and you still say no. And I think it's part of the relationship. And it happens not only on pregnancy. We had phases where I was more like excited to, you were like, no, I don't want it. And I was like, no, I don't want it. And you were excited. Mm-hmm. So we had a lot of like phases like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So back to your question, I think it's, if you're not feeling it, I think that can be just really hard. Number one, and just to whoever's going through that, I acknowledge that that's a really hard thing. Because I think it's fair to say that there are men who are like not attracted to their partner while they're like having all these changes in their body. And I don't think men should be shamed for that. But then again, women are going through this whole thing. They're like, the least you could do is
they shouldn't be shamed if they understand that this is a phase and they are loyal to their partner, right? Because what happened to
I thought that
a lot of
assumed.
I mean, it's assumed to you because
right, but we're not having a conversation about like, should you go cheat or not when your wife is not sexy?
Well, there are a lot of guys that they do.
Okay, well that's stupid. Don't do that.
They think it's okay because the wife is pregnant. So
okay, that's probably not our audience.
I don't know about that.
Well, gentlemen, if you are off cheating and you think that that's the right thing to do because your wife has a belly, you should get some help, therapy or coaching.
Yes,
because that's it's just not it's not a inappropriate reason for wanting to no. You can have a desire like, hey, this isn't attractive to me right now, and I want to talk about like different ways to navigate this. And if that's something you come to the conclusion of together, like, hey, if you need to have that, go have that. Like, here are the rules, go. There's no one way relationship looks.
Yes.
So I don't want to like pigeonhole it. As long as there's communication about it, you don't make that decision by yourself in a partnership. That's all I'm saying.
Yes. Great. Okay. I think that's the important point.
So I think it's hard. I haven't been there. I can't speak to it specifically. I have had times where I'm not feeling attracted. Saying not feeling attracted to you is a very like aggressive statement. There are times when I'm thinking about, and this is really important to point out, my brain is in like, okay, I'm about to have a kid. I'm like doing this thing for work and I'm trying to like provide here and do that and take these actions. And I'm in like mechanical, like action mode. And I'm not in like, wow, chicka, wow, wow, like I'm not there. And this is the other thing, like, it was intense. But there are times when I'm in that state where I would have sex to just like get off, like completely selfish. I just want to like
get out of your system.
Yeah, just the like feeling of having sex and being done, kind of like one night stand energy, you know, where it's like, I just want to have sex. I don't care who you are, what you look like I just want to have sex. And I think that at times when I'm very in my work focus and I'm on like grind mode, and then we're together and you're like in that, like I'm connected to you mode, and you're being my wife and you want to have connected, loving sex, I feel weird that I'm like not into it. And I would do this just for like the release, like the oxytocin release, for like stress relief. Honestly, it'd be a stress release activity. And I think at that point, part of you is like, stress relief all over me, baby. Rock and roll.
I don't care.
Yeah, do your thing. But then there's this thing that happens right after where there's this kind of like guilt and shame aspect, because this is the person I love more than anybody. And there was like a lack of respect there. It was a very selfish act. And that kind of feels yucky for me. So, and I think maybe if it's communicated, like, honestly, I don't feel like doing this. I just feel like having
well, I don't feel like doing implies like you don't want to do it.
Okay. So maybe worded better. I'm not feeling like super connected and deep in this, like trying to have a beautiful, passionate making love moment. I just want to fuck and like get it out of my system. And like, I don't care if it takes 12 seconds. I just want to get to, and that's the other part of it, right? Like if I'm thinking about our experience, I go about my journey differently than if I'm just like trying to get my thing done. My thing done is quick. I'm efficient. I am efficient if I want to be. I'm just being honest. I'm efficient if I want to be. Whereas like, if I'm doing this for the sake of our experience together, I'm not as efficient. I want it to be like,
well, you're efficient to me.
I want it to be a bit. Yeah. Wait, what? You hold on. I want your experience to be amazing.
Yes.
And doesn't mean efficient experience can't be amazing, but I want you to also have your pleasure and enjoyment.
Yes.
Which I got to slow down. And I know that in order to do that, I need to make you feel safe. I need to make you feel comfortable. I need to, you have a lot of things you need in order to make you like get bow chicka wow wow. Yeah. Even when you already are bow chicka wow wow, you have this like, okay, here's a list of 12 things I need to happen. So I got to go through the bow chicka wow wow list. And then great. If I'm not feeling that, I think it's important to acknowledge that. And sometimes I'd rather not bow chicka wow wow at that moment.
Can we change this word? It's so
bow chicka wow wow.
It's
sometimes
like
I don't
losing the whole.
I just don't want to. I don't want to do it for what feels like not aligned reasons, not loving reasons. I'm doing it because I feel like I should. And I think that's important. Now, that's just in general in relationship, but definitely during pregnancy, there's this like constant, for you, there's been a much more aggressive libido. And then because of that, I feel like a responsibility, like I have to. And that's just a weird feeling sometimes. Like, I don't want to have sex because I feel like I have to. I want to have sex because I love you and because I'm feeling the same connection that you're feeling, because that's a much more special experience. And then maybe I would also acknowledge that as I'm talking this out, I can just say, I want a one night stand you right now. Where like, I'm just going in to attack because that's what you want. I'm not feeling all cute and cuddly. Like, are you down with that?
I can say like, unless it's like a minute instead of 12 seconds, then we can do that.
A minute instead of 12 seconds? What do you mean? You're asking for a maximum of a minute?
No, I'm asking a minimum of a minute, not 12 seconds. That's what I'm saying.
God, oh my. Please tell people that we don't have sex for 12 seconds. Please tell people we don't have sex for 12 seconds. Oh my God. Moving on. So we still haven't fully answered this question around body thing, which is how do I, as the partner, really support your journey while you're maybe not feeling so sexy, you're not feeling so like loving your body,
Mm-hmm.
which you've actually, in my experience, been really in love with your body and like enamored and being like, oh my God, look at this belly.
Yeah.
Like you've had moments where you're like, my legs are going. And when you had those moments, you started training way harder and you've been really consistent, really committed in the gym. So what have I done or not done? Like what has worked for you just from the dad standpoint, and what maybe hasn't worked so well?
I think for me, I think it goes to my love language as well. I think words of affirmation is not my number one, but it's definitely plays a big role when it comes to feeling confident in my body. So knowing that you are feeling attracted to me and you use words of affirmation to, just to make me feel good, and saying good things like, oh my God, whatever is that things that you say, it really helps me. The other thing is...
So just to be clear, it's just like,
just
babe,
words
you look beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you look so delicious. Like that stuff. Just compliments.
Yeah, compliments.
As long as they're real.
Yeah.
What if they're not real?
Well, that's the tough part. So if it's not real, you can't even do that because...
Of course I can. You look hot and I don't mean it.
I mean, yeah, but I can feel that you're not being true. So then it doesn't matter if you're saying, because I know it's not true.
What if you can't feel it? Is it good to do it anyways?
If you're being real, yes.
What if I'm not being real?
Then no.
Then what do you do?
Well, then I have to work through the thing because I have to navigate the thing for myself. I'm coming from...
That's tricky.
I'm coming from a place where I am not having the challenging... I feel like right now I'm in a phase where I'm noticing more, feeling like, oh shit, like I'm noticing like all this cellulite showing up on my legs. My butt is not as, strong as used to be. Like my hips are really opening up. Like there's no pants that I used to wear that fits me anymore. Like I'm getting chunk on the sides. It's not only like my belly going up. So like I'm noticing more of this, and most of the time I feel like it's okay. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm so grateful and so happy that it's happening. And I know that after the baby is born, after a while, as I'm navigating and being back, my body will look even better. I hope so. And I'm trying to enroll myself into that. And I feel like I am in a good place. If I was not in a good place, it would be very, very challenging, especially if I feel like you are not being true and saying like you look hot and I feel like you don't feel like.
Yeah, I'm as you're talking it out.
But then it's my work to work through that. It has nothing to do with you.
Right. Like I think that's just a heavy thing to receive as a woman. Like you're already in judgment of your body. You're already not digging it. Yeah. And then your partner says the same.
Well, I think it's an important mindset shift for myself. If I was in a position like this, I think it would be very important for me to work through my thing, and for you as my partner to also understand, like, if you're not feeling attracted to me, like it's just like a physical thing. It's only a physical connection. That's all that matters. Yeah. Like it would be a reflection process for you to go through as well of like, oh, okay, so you're only attracted to me when my body is like looking super fit.
Yeah.
So is that real love, or is it just like attraction, a physical attraction thing, Yeah. So I feel like if someone is, and I'm thinking about this right now as I'm saying that out loud, but I feel like if you were a guy who was not attracted to me right now, I would question myself a lot, because I'm like, and we had the test with my acne thing, I think when I had the acne journey, which was so tough because I also gained weight during that phase. I also had my whole face covering acne. I was so sensitive with all of that. And you were still saying things that you find me beautiful. You love me. You were still attracted to me. We were still having like a beautiful connection. So that I think was an important phase for me to see that it's more than physical attraction. It's much more than that. And if I was navigating that phase and you were like, I'm not attracted to you or type of thing, I would question myself like, oh, okay, so you're only attracted to me when I'm looking, great and I'm looking fit and all of that.
Yeah, I think it's actually, I'm trying to recall, like, especially the acne one, because that was super intense. And I'm trying to recall if there was moments, and I think there were, where like, especially when we were living apart, and you would pop up on screen and it would be like from like one day to the next, like, and also your favorite hobby is popping pimples. So she would just have like red all over her face.
But also because at that time, I was using a lot of makeup. So a lot of the times that we would talk,
she would like cover it up.
Yeah.
And then the next day I'd be like, whoa. And I think in those moments, and then when you were here and working through that, there definitely were moments where it's like, it's not and there's such a contrast for you because like you had these glistening, crazy, beautiful skin, and then like boom, and that experience it actually really was a powerful one for me because I realized, I think it's very fair to say, like there was an immediate feeling of like, okay, that thing called acne is not something I find attractive, right? Like I don't hunt for like women with acne because that turns me on. Like that's not a natural thing that feels attractive to me. And I would notice that. So I'd be like, okay, I'm not attracted to that. And I still feel this incredible attraction towards this person. So I remember having multiple moments, and this happens with pregnancy, where like, yeah, that's not the hottest thing under the stars. But at the same time, check in with the feeling for this person. And as I feel more for the person, and I am getting closer or more connected to the depth of my actual relationship with that person. So as you're talking this out, I think it's really important for me to hear it. Just that like, there's something to be said. If you lose your physical attraction for whatever reason, which I think is fair, like we're just physically attracted to certain things and physically attracted to not. If you are starting to feel that fade a little bit, and you're not willing to like create attraction in other ways, like this is one way in which I get super attracted to you, is having conversations like this. Mm-hmm. Many things we've done over the last few weeks, like working out together, even when you're overweight because you're having a baby. So you're not overweight. You're perfectly in line with your weight, right? You're gaining weight. I go to the gym with you and I watch you train, and like that is super attractive to me, crazy attractive. I'm like, I don't know if I'd be going to the gym with a belly that size, like with a baby in my belly. I can't. And the amount of women that have come up to me and been like, oh my God, at the gym, like she's a beast. I wish when I'm a mom that I am training like her. That like brings an incredible amount of attractiveness. So yeah, there's some things maybe physically that downgrade, but then you start to ask the question, what is upgrading? Is there something upgrading? How am I deepening my relationship? Because the thing that we all signed on the dotted line when we got married, for better or worse, when you're old, you're going to be crinkly, you're not going to be hot anymore. You weren't signing on that line if you're a married couple. You weren't, or choosing to be with somebody, you're not signing on that line because of how hot they are. And if that's what you were doing, you have a rude awakening coming at some point, because that person's not going to be that hot no matter how much lipo they do. They're not going to be as hot. They are in perhaps the most beautiful, sexiest. They are in the youngest stage they will ever be in right now as you're listening to this. Mm-hmm. Think about that.
Yeah.
They are the youngest skin, the youngest, tightest, tonest, but it will not get younger and brighter and shinier than this. Doesn't mean you can't lose weight. Doesn't mean you can't improve. Doesn't mean, but this is the youngest, healthiest opportunity you have.
Unless they do some biohacking stuff
Unless they do some biohacking stuff. So great.
Yes. And I had a question that just jumped out of my head.
So one of the other parts, maybe it'll come back to you. One of the other parts that is brought up is the gym stuff. So promoting healthy habits. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a challenge, how to promote healthy habits with your partner. And we kind of tapped into it while we were talking about like laying on the couch, going for walks, whatever, without upsetting your partner, right? Because part of this process that I've noticed is there is the emotional things like was that yesterday? the last 2 days, you were having like very intense, like sad energy,
yeah.
just hormones.
It's not even sad. It's just like I'm wanting to cry and feeling like weird and wanting to cry.
Yeah. She's like, why do I feel like this? Right. So movement is medicine, and like outdoors and sun and nature, like these things help. So and often what happens in those moments is that's not when you're meditating. That's not when you're connecting with yourself. That's not when you're eating the healthiest food. That's not when you're drinking your most water. That's not when you're getting your most sunshine or having healthy socializing practices. That's when we find the sugar and we overeat and we like lock ourselves in a room. We do all the bad habits.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess my question is, and again, we can kind of go based off of if I've been supportive in this route or not. How do we as the husband support you in promoting healthy habits?
I mean, it's the same thing as we were talking before. I think it's a communication question and having conversations from a neutral space instead of like having the conversation in the heated of the moment or, I think it's exactly the same thing as it
Correct.
applies here. It
Sweet.
applies to the same thing.
So then another question separate of this. Dudes, I think that this is, especially if it's your first kid, the most incredible, transformative moment of your life. There will be nothing more transformative maybe ever than this moment where you realize, holy shit, next generation, I'm about to become a dad. I'm no longer the kid. I become the adult, and you can be a kid adult. That's cool, which I am. But like you are now becoming a level of provider that you've never been. The freaking igniting energy that does, so powerful. It pushed me and drove me to make some really big decisions and take some bold action over the last few months.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, like I'm doing 75 hard.
Towards the end of your 75 hard now.
Yeah, I've got 10 days left or something, and I'm killing it. I'm in the best shape maybe I've been in years. Like
a few in the past years, yeah.
Past years. Just like training really hard, consistently working out twice a day, eating really well, only whole food diet, haven't had sugar in 60 something days, haven't drank alcohol. Like I'm just turning up. Work, a lot of things are coming to fruition, actions being taken. Like things are happening when it comes to the body aspect of this, but really the whole thing.
Yeah, and that's the question that I wanted to ask, because you were mentioning as we get older, I feel like, and I don't know if it's so true, but I feel like women get older faster than men. I feel like men sustain like their look and vitality a little bit more than women. Most cases, of course, not everybody, but in general. And I feel like in this phase of pregnancy, like you have lost weight and feeling stronger. And because of your journey, you were like looking better than you were a few years ago physically. Yeah. And mentally, you were also in a better space. And you are in a more attractive phase than you were a few years ago. While I am gaining weight, my belly's growing, my cellulite is showing, cellulite. I don't know how to say.
Great.
So it's kind of like you had a message of a friend saying like, oh, I would be so pissed because like you look so good right now, and she's actually gaining weight. Like if I was in her place, I would be probably like jealous. And I think like probably a lot of women would feel like this. And I think we have a relationship that now it doesn't allow me to feel like this. I don't feel like this at all. I feel like incredible, and I feel so happy for you, and I like so motivated you to do that. But if it was years ago, I probably would feel like that. Like I'm gaining weight, I'm feeling like shit, I'm not working out, I'm not feeling good in my body, and you were like killing it.
Here was my decision. Like when I made the decision to do 75 hard, 75 hard, if you haven't heard of it, look it up. It's nothing crazy.
It's kind of crazy. Yeah.
But it more like it wasn't so far off from my regular lifestyle. Like I train all the time or whatever. I made a decision about discipline and commitment at that time, like 60 something days ago, where it was predicated on the idea for me that you don't have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to go through this. You've got to figure this out. Like, again, technically you have a choice, but like,
yeah, I always have a choice. Yeah.
We decided we're having a baby.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do all this. You have to go through the morning sickness and nausea. You have to eat a certain amount, and you have to take care of your body in a certain way, and you have to avoid certain foods, and you have to take certain pills. And like, there's so much that you have to do. My thought was, if she's going to show up as that level of beast, then I damn well better be showing up at that level of beast in the way that I can.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said before, I'm not birthing the baby, but the level of beast that is occurring here between your training, eating, sleeping, taking care of yourself, could it be improved in certain areas? Duh, like everybody all the time. But my thought was, if she's about to go into beast mode at that level, like if you guys don't notice how beast mode it is to birth a human, wait until you get pregnant and watch your wife do it. It's beast mode on a level I've never understood. So with that mentality, that's what I went into this with. So it wasn't like oh, my wife's having a baby, let me get all sexy and hot dad bod energy. It was like, let me just try and match the level of commitment she's at. Let me just try and reach the level of discipline she's at. Let me just try and reach the incredible world-changing effort that she's stepping into. So it almost felt like a partnership choice. It wasn't a personal, like, Nick, I'm going to go do this while my wife makes a baby.
Yeah. And I just want to say, like, so people don't feel like, oh, so doing 75 hard is the same thing as...
No, let me be very clear.
I feel like that there is nothing like it. It's literally like where
pregnancy, not 75.
We all came from men, women, like we all came from this process of a mom birthing a baby, like doesn't matter if you're a man or if you're a woman. So I feel like we all should be so grateful for the process because it's truly one of the craziest thing. And I also didn't have the understanding of everything that has to happen in order for a baby to be born and everything that happens in a woman's body. It's freaking wild, everything. Even if you're having a C-section and you're not having a natural birth. So we mentioned many times here, like we are having a natural birth, which involves a whole new level of training and understanding and all of this. And the labor is a very different process than having a cesarean, etc. But even if you are, it's 9 months literally building a human and having your whole body changing physically, hormonal. And so I just want to point it out because I don't feel like...
I hope that was clear.
Yeah.
I'm not comparing. What I'm doing is there's a certain level of discipline of like, you have to show up, like you don't have a choice. So I was like, what could I do that puts me in a space where I don't even have a choice but to show up? 75 hard was just a thing that matched that criteria. I think what I'm pointing out is there's a difference between going and like getting all fit by almost like a separate thing from your wife. Like she's going and doing pregnancy and you're just like, oh, I'm going to turn up my training and get all disciplined and like make it a Nick story. That really wasn't ever it. It was this like, I'm about to become a father. I need to be a next level husband. And my wife is doing all this work. And now it's my job to show her that I'm as in this as she is. So this was a connector. And I think you felt that. Like, of course, there are times when it's like, I have to go to the gym by myself or I have to go read a book or whatever all that stuff is. But I hope I tried to get, I don't know if I've ever spoken it out like that, but that was 1000%. Like this would not be happening if you weren't pregnant.
Yeah, I feel like from my perspective, it is annoying sometimes because you do have the commitment of like doing 2 workouts a day, reading 10 pages while you're still like doing all the other things and working. And so sometimes like my schedule get affected by, which I'm totally on board with that. I'm so happy. And I think it's a beautiful thing. And I think it's a great thing for you and your journey. And I really admire you for going through, and it's very inspiring to me. And I think the the health habits that you have established with that, it's really positive for me as well. So that's why I also feel like it's I'm so supportive of it. But I can see also getting in the way if, for example, if I was not, in the healthy process of pregnancy, if I am not like feeling like exercising, because a lot of women have different process. There are women that they actually can work out and exercise because of.
Well, I mean, then in those cases, and that did happen in the beginning, if you recall, that's where I was conscious of like, I'm not going to go home and be like, babe, I just fucking nailed this workout. I'm feeling like a beast. I'm getting after it. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm acknowledging where you're at. I'm going and quietly doing what I need to do to honor my commitment, which you're honoring yours by making it through morning sickness. I'm honoring mine by showing up to the gym and putting in crazy work twice in a row. Because that's what I committed to doing. You're doing what you committed to doing. So there was just an aura. There has been an incredible aura of showing the fuck up in this house.
Yes. Let's go.
There's been a certain level of just, we're fucking owning shit. And I think that coming into this, like I want my kid, the kid feels that. I know it. I know Figgy is just like, mommy, daddy, you mean business for me. Let's go.
Yeah.
And I think that's what this is all about. So like, it's not about, am I physically improving or not? We are elevating as a couple. And I think if a dad is pushing his physical limits and training himself and preparing himself, make sure, like I made sure that it was integrated with you, that we are, and if this is not allowing us to elevate together, then it's probably, I need to fix something. But interesting, in my experience, this has elevated us together. We've had that separate schedules. It's annoying, like shit has to happen. But and you tell me, I'm committed. And I think as a woman who's about to go build a life in a whole new way with her partner, to see the level of commitment that I'm putting into this, even though there's shit that doesn't feel safe going on in our lives right now, like things that we need to adjust and move, I believe that because you see me, like this guy's going to do anything for his family. He's going to figure it out because he's shown that when he commits to something, he'll do anything. And I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to say that because I've said it to you plenty. I want to show you. Yeah. And this is one way in which I can show you right now. So that's part of it too.
You are.
Yeah. So I think I'm super in love with you.
I'm in love with you too.
That's really good news. Well, Bia's libido clock just went off, so we got to go. This was a fun one. This was a longer one than we usually do, but I think we hit on some really interesting topics.
Definitely the one that I laughed the most.
You laughed the most?
Yeah.
Thanks, honey. Talking about my 12 seconds. All right, guys. We are so grateful for your time, your energy. We know your attention is all over the place. You're doing a lot of things. You're focusing on a lot of stuff. So we are just super grateful to be spending this time with you, to have your ear. We hope that you receive some type of really good content in some capacity. Of course, our journey is ours. It's not yours. So take everything we're sharing. It's just our journey. And maybe it resonates with you. Maybe it doesn't. Take what works and leave what doesn't. And integrate it in your own life. Please always reach out, ask questions. We love to communicate and share with you guys. And last but not least, if any of this resonated in a way where you feel like, man, this would be so huge for this person to hear, pretty please pass this on. Share this with somebody that you care about, that you love, that you think would enjoy the time. Yeah. So we love you guys. Appreciate you. And we'll see you on the next episode.